Come to you live from Now Avenue, here to inspire you. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and looking at some of the updates that we have, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has welcomed proposed changes to the controversial 28-point peace plan for ending the war with Russia. Now, that detail will definitely be coming through during your foreign update. But coming on the local scene, residents of Bamunanika constituency in Luwero district, relatives, friends and supporters of the NRM flag bearer for the Bamunanika parliamentary seat, that is Elizabeth Salabwa, rushed to her newly completed home, responding to a fire outbreak. Residents suspect it is an act of arson, and police in Luwero district have issued a statement. Sad footage to look at, indeed. Now, in another update, and now this really is on the entertainment scene, especially if you love your old school music. Artist Jimmy Cliff, that is reggae sensation and one of the pioneers of reggae and skank music, passed away on Monday at the age of 81. He sang along Bob Marley and popularized reggae, skank and rock steady music. Over a 6-decade career, his wife Latifah Chambers announced the news on Monday. Now, yesterday, Monday, of course, the presidential campaigns do continue, and the Kawempe rally was such a highlight. But I'll leave that definitely for Robert to dig in and allow us to chew on the meat from on there. But welcome to the show. Thank you so much for choosing UBC TV this morning. Once again, my name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am, as always, my favorite partners in crime, Joan Murunji and Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Julie. And to you, our viewers, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful night.
Yes,
did you dream some good stuff?
Well, I love dreaming.
Really?
Yes. I'm a believer that dreaming is redeeming.
Before you get a horrific dream?
Whatever the dream is.
You love dreaming?
Dreaming is redeeming, in my belief, yes. It's a sign that God is showing you a way out of something.
Okay, good morning, and I hope everyone had a very wonderful night. Tuesday isn't a bad day as such because, you know, it's a sign that you survived Monday, the Monday blues. So you need to wake up and start your day with enthusiasm so that you can conquer it. You know,
well,
yesterday...
I'm not so sure about Tuesdays, but Tuesdays on my end.
Really?
Another story.
They are just flat days for you.
Tuesday carries every other day of the week for me.
There is something that caught my mind yesterday. I wonder, Egis, the one responsible for operations at the Entebbe Express Highway, you know, it was time for peak hours of traffic, and out of the 6 terminals, that is from Busega to, at the road toll, from Busega to Entebbe, there were only 3. And there was a lot of traffic, and I'm like, why all the other 3 terminals are rendered redundant on a Monday morning, a busy day? So I think UNRA should check with Egis, the ones in charge of the operations for Entebbe Express Highway, because it's really, we use Express so that we are diverting away from the traffic on the older Entebbe. And when we come this side, the attendants are known that it was not really a good experience. But in the same spirit, yesterday the Inter-Religious Council warned the Electoral Commission of Uganda over what it termed as silence over electoral violence and intimidation in the ongoing campaigns. And in a statement that was released by the council, they described the unfolding incidents as unfortunate, and that they threaten the electoral process integrity, and it could also deprive the citizens of their freedom to listen to their candidates. And so they appealed to all stakeholders, those ones who are taking part of the electoral process, to come out and at least ensure there is a good oversight, since it is their mandate as the EC to come out and have these campaigns proceed without intimidations and violence.
Right, very profound indeed. Now, Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono, good morning, first and foremost.
Good morning to you, Julie.
Right.
And allow me to say the same to Joan. A lovely morning.
Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm very
How
fine.
come you have a tie that relates with the colors I'm putting on? Did you sneak into my closet?
Great minds think alike. I want to take that. Now, I want to go back straight to the political scene.
Right.
Now, yesterday we had the NUP candidate, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, come home. He's been campaigning outside Kampala. So yesterday he came home and he chooses to go to a place that is well conversant, or one could call home for him. That is Kawempe division. So it was more like a homecoming event. However, things didn't go as they should have gone, because police says it was responding to provocation by NUP supporters. And by closure of the day, the police spokesperson said about 6 officers were injured. So he said the police was being provoked by the supporters of National Unity Platform, according to the police spokesperson. Now, according to Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, this was curtailing his rights as a presidential candidate, because when you look at the growers' grounds, they were allocated to him, that he had to be there yesterday. All his venues, in a law, there is no venue where he was denied to have a rally there. But even when the rallies were going on, you would hear tear gas, people running and all that. So he said this wasn't called for, and he condemned it. But also, on the other hand, I think police was caught between
A rock and a hard place.
a rock and a hard place. Why? For example, when Kyagulanyi was moving from his party headquarters to go, actually he didn't enter, he just proceeded. He told his supporters, let's meet at growers' grounds. But the crowd, you know, traffic was, people had to look for alternative routes. Now, here it is hard to find out who to blame, because Kyagulanyi supporters, I think, would have waited for him at the grounds. And of course, there were already some there.
Right.
But when a road is blocked, police cannot look by.
Affected, yes.
Yeah, police cannot just watch. Believe you me, they'll have to disperse these crowds. So that traffic, Bombo Road is a very, very busy road. And when you block that road, you see there is so much traffic. Bombo Road goes all the way. Gulu, it's a highway. So police cannot watch when you've blocked traffic. And of course, we know our youth. You can't tell them, don't pass here, go. They'll throw the stones. And at the end of the day, we'll have the situation we had. So my question is, if this candidate is back in Kampala, and maybe some of the candidates that attract huge numbers, how are their supporters? Because he kept on telling them, be calm, remove cameras, you know, just take this footage. He wasn't calling for violence. But how do you balance traffic flow? Supporters, one is leaving grounds to move to, is leaving Kawempe South to go to Kawempe North. But remember, there are people who are going to follow. Should we just whisk him away, you know? I think there is so much that police and these candidates must sit together and see how best they can manage. Because if a candidate is leaving a rally, how is he going to get to a next destination which is walkable or not very far, and he has a group of people following?
Indeed, I do agree with you. I think for purposes of balance and for everyone to enjoy their freedom in using every amenity that is provided for by the government, which is you and I, and of course the officials that hold the provision, the officers, I think there needs to be conversations with officers of the law, with all candidates who seem to have a particular appeal to the public. But also, I must say, I must commend Honorable Kyagulanyi. Throughout this campaign, I must commend him for leading his people, for speaking a message of positivity, of maintain peace, do not do this, do not do that. Just maintain yourselves. Keep yourselves intact. I think I must commend him for that.
He's a very different candidate from the previous campaign.
Yes,
from the previous
very,
campaigns.
very true. Totally true.
Totally
Now,
different. Whatever the provocation, stay calm. Yesterday, I just told them, don't do anything. Just get your camera.
No,
yes.
You get experience with time. So that one was first his first attempt. So he must have learned a lot from the process, and he is now so conversant with the law, and he knows what to do.
One time you get to know that no one has monopoly over violence.
Well, on that note, let's have a look at what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has requested for a donation of land, approximately 150 acres in Kigezi sub-region, where government can establish an industrial park. He has revealed this plan while campaigning in Rubanda and Kisoro districts. That was yesterday. NRM leaders in Kigezi sub-region commended the NRM 2026 presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni for the peace, security and infrastructure development in the area. They said the improved infrastructure includes roads and schools have facilitated wealth creation at the household level. These remarks were made as the president commenced his campaign activities in Kisoro. The FDC presidential flag bearer Nathan Nanda Mafabi has traversed the districts of Kariro and Luka, canvassing for votes ahead of the 2026 general elections. While in Kariro, the aspiring women member of parliament Nanyanzi Sara notified the presidential hopeful that the district is faced with poor roads, with only 3 kilometers of tarmac and 1 health center for. She made the remarks while Mafabi was on the rally in Buyinda and Namiwa sub-county in Kariro district. The Alliance for National Transformation candidate Jeno Mugisha Muntu rallied supporters in the district of Namisindwa and Bududa districts. He made stops at Lakakwaha and Magala Town Council, drawing crowds eager to hear his message. In Bududa district, residents reported poor maternity wards that have forced many to seek care in neighboring Kenya, highlighting the dire health care situation. Muntu's campaign in Bugisu focused on addressing the root cause of poverty and improving livelihood for the people. National Unity Platform, NUP, leader and 2026 presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu urged residents of Kawempe South and North to vote for him. Kampala should lead the mission towards what he called a new Uganda. He said Ugandans from different regions are uniting around change and asked Kampala residents to rally behind that mission. Kyagulanyi also condemned security agencies, accusing them of disrupting his campaigns. He encouraged the youth to take part in politics, saying political decisions determine key services such as roads, healthcare, and access to quality free education. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has highlighted 10 key priorities to enhance the fishing sector to ensure that the fishing community have alternative sources of income to reduce dependency on fishing alone. This was revealed by Lieutenant Colonel Masi Tuhakir, the Commandant Fisheries Protection Unit at Tumba landing site in Rabiata in Nakasongola district, during an engagement with the fishermen. Joy and excitement filled the grounds as the NRM supporters overwhelmingly welcomed Lieutenant Colonel Masi, seen as the everlasting solution to the challenges affecting fisheries on Lake Choga. Local leaders called on the Fisheries Protection Unit commandant to lift operations on the lake, released suspects who were arrested. On 5th of October 2025, President Yoweri Museveni met with leaders representing the fishing communities to discuss the challenges and have possible solutions. President issued 10 key areas to be prioritized in order to transform the fishing sector. Festo Bandeva, the RDC Nakasongola district, welcomed over 70 youth who crossed from the National Unity Platform and FDC and joined NRM. Finally, from the local scene, as Uganda gears up for the 2026 general elections, the Judicial Training Institute has trained judicial officers, magistrates and lawyers on the new amendments, rules and on how to handle election petition disputes. The training focused on new amendments in the rules and emphasized alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and to strengthen electoral justice in Uganda. The former Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera called upon judicial officers to uphold the highest standards of fairness. He urged them to promote reconciliation among parties. Honorable Justice Professor Andrew Kahuka highlighted that magistrates and lawyers must be conversant with the amended rules for timely and credible adjournment of disputes. Honorable Justice Christopher Izama stated that this will settle cases quickly, peacefully, to promote mutual understanding. The training was conducted by senior and experienced judicial officers led by the head of the Judicial Training Institute, Justice Professor Andrew Kuha. Well, that brings us to the end of our local stories. Let's now head to Joanne for what she has in the international stories.
And from our global coverage here on GMU, we are kicking off with President Donald Trump, who has said he agreed to visit Beijing in April and invited Chinese President Xi Jinping in a state visit later next year. Following a phone call between the two leaders, Trump and Xi, who met nearly a month ago in South Korea, discussed a range of issues, including trade, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, fentanyl, and Taiwan, according to the president and China's foreign ministry. Our relationship with China is extremely strong, Trump wrote in a Truth Social post. China's state news agency released a statement that said both countries should keep up the momentum, keep moving forward in the right direction on the basis of equality, respect, and mutual benefit. The leaders met in Busan, South Korea in October, after which they agreed to a truce on tariffs. The U.S. decided to cut a 20% tariff in half, aimed at decreasing the flow of fentanyl. Tariffs remain on Chinese goods and average just below 50%. The U.S. then pulled back a threat of 100% additional tariffs on Chinese goods, while China delayed its plan to introduce its latest round of rare earth export controls. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the Monday call with Xi, which lasted about an hour, was focused on trade. And more from the foreign coverage, European allies of Ukraine have given a cautious welcome to efforts to refine a United States peace proposal, initially criticized for appearing to be weighted in favor of Russia's maximalist demands. The leaders of Germany, Finland, Poland, and the United Kingdom were among those agreeing on Monday that progress had been made in the previous day's talks between Washington and Kyiv in Geneva. And these yielded what the U.S. and Ukraine called a refined peace framework. Still, the European leaders stressed that work remained to be done. It was possible to clear up some questions, but we also know that there won't be peace in Ukraine overnight, said German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, adding that the peace plan initially drafted by the U.S. had been modified in significant parts. He welcomed the interim result. The next step must be that Russia must come to the table, Merz said from Angola, where he was attending a summit between African and European Union countries. This is a laborious process. It will move forward at most smaller steps this week. I do not expect there to be a breakthrough this week, he stressed. And then moving on to Ethiopia, a long dormant volcano in northern Ethiopia has erupted, sending plumes of ash across the Red Sea towards Yemen and Oman. The Haile Gubi volcano in the Afar region of Ethiopia, located about 100 kilometers northeast of Addis Ababa, erupted for several hours on Sunday morning, leaving the nearby village of Afdera covered in ash. There were no casualties from the eruption, which sent thick plumes of smoke up to 14 kilometers into the sky, sending ash clouds to Yemen, Oman, India, and northern Pakistan. And this is according to the Toulouse Volcanic Ash Advisory Center in France. Ahmed Abdallah, a resident of the Afar region, said it felt like a sudden bomb had been thrown. Many people who had been heading to the Danakil Desert, a local tourist attraction, were left stranded in ash-covered Afdera on Monday, he said. Mohammed Saidi, a local administrator, said there were no casualties, But the eruption could have economic implications for the local community of livestock herders. Now, that was it from the international scene here on GMU.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's have a look at what we have in the dailies today, and that is starting off. We're supposed to start off with the new vision, and hopefully our producers are able to put that on display. But just in case, I think it will be that time for us to have a short break, and then we'll return with another conversation on the rail. Just make sure that you save the number 0709-602-592. Of course, we also allow you enjoy a song to inspire you, and that is from Grace Morgan and Levixon Mbeda is the name of the song.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has requested for a donation of land, approximately 150 acres in Kigezi sub-region, where government can establish an industrial park. He has revealed this plan while campaigning in Rubanda and Kisoro districts. That was yesterday. NRM leaders in Kigezi sub-region commended the NRM 2026 presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni for the peace, security and infrastructure development in the area. They said the improved infrastructure includes roads and schools, have facilitated wealth creation at the household level. These remarks were made as the president commenced his campaign activities in Kisoro. The FDC presidential flag bearer Nathan Nanda Mafabi has traversed the districts of Kariro and Luka, canvassing for votes ahead of the 2026 general elections. While in Kariro, the aspiring women member of parliament, Nanyanzi Sara, notified the presidential hopeful that the district is faced with poor roads, with only 3 kilometers of tarmac and 1 health center for. She made the remarks while Mafabi was on the rally in Buyinda and Namiwa sub-county in Kariro district. The Alliance for National Transformation candidate Jeno Mugisha Muntu rallied supporters in the district of Namisindwa and Bududa districts. He made stops at Lakakwaha and Magala Town Council, drawing crowds eager to hear his message. In Bududa district, residents reported poor maternity wards that have forced many to seek care in neighboring Kenya, highlighting the dire healthcare situation. Muntu's campaign in Bugisu focused on addressing the root cause of poverty and improving livelihood for the people. National Unity Platform, NUP, leader and 2026 presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu urged residents of Kawempe South and North to vote for him. Kampala should lead the mission towards what he called a new Uganda. He said Ugandans from different regions are uniting around change and asked Kampala residents to rally behind that mission. Kyagulanyi also condemned security agencies, accusing them of disrupting his campaigns. He encouraged the youth to take part in politics, saying political decisions determine key services such as roads, healthcare, and access to quality free education. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has highlighted 10 key priorities to enhance the fishing sector to ensure that the fishing community have alternative sources of income to reduce dependency on fishing alone. This was revealed by Lieutenant Colonel Masi to Hakir, the Commandant Fisheries Protection Unit at Tumba landing site in Rabiata in Nakasongola district during an engagement with the fishermen. Joy and excitement filled the grounds as the NRM supporters overwhelmingly welcomed Lieutenant Colonel Masi, seen as the everlasting solution to the challenges affecting fisheries on Lake Choga. Local leaders called on the Fisheries Protection Unit commandant to lift operations on the lake, released suspects who were arrested. On 5th of October 2025, President Yoweri Museveni met with leaders representing the fishing communities to discuss the challenges and have possible solutions. President issued 10 key areas to be prioritized in order to transform the fishing sector. Festo Bandeva, the RDC Nakasongola district, welcomed over 70 youth who crossed from the National Unity Platform and FDC and joined NRM. Finally, from the local scene, as Uganda gears up for the 2026 general elections, the Judicial Training Institute has trained judicial officers, magistrates, and lawyers on the new amendments, rules, and on how to handle election petition disputes. The training focused on new amendments in the rules and emphasized alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and to strengthen electoral justice in Uganda. The former Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera called upon judicial officers to uphold the highest standards of fairness. He urged them to promote reconciliation among parties. Honorable Justice Professor.
Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, it's a good morning here on UBC TV. Date and our goal and our vision at the same time is to make sure that you have a good morning as well. One that is filled with inspiration in the sense that you must be in the know, you must be current, and you must have all the facts as they come. And also, and of course, we do not make it boring for you. We make sure that it's engaging and interacting. That's why we do have the number 0709602592 for you to share your opinion and just be part of this Morning Uganda. It's time for the real, but before we get to the real, please look like so that you know which one to dig into for your engineers. Over 95% of local government officials unregistered, and there is a free pullout inside, and campaigns Kyagulanyi Mafabi hunt for votes. Also looking at the Pakasa Forum 2025 participants tipped on growing their businesses. Also the Daily Monitor, data from the Electoral Commission based on the nomination report for January 15th, 2026 polls lists 128 women racing against men for direct election as members of parliament, up from 88 in the year 2021. That is for the 2021 general election. Some of whom listed there: Judith Aliek Kole North for Kole District, Betty Bachireke Namboze Mukono Municipality, Fundwa County, Agatha Atusasire Mbara City North, Millie Babalanda Nabidye, Budyope West County, Rukia Chekamondo, Kapchora Municipality, Santa Okot Arun North County, Pader District, Ingrid Turinawe Eastern Division, Rukunjiri. Very interesting one to dig into. And Chaos Kawempe, as Bobby claims 180 members arrested. And fertility drugs, bad air, aiding premature births. Now looking at what the Lizard has to say, soon men might ask for affirmative action. That is the women taking on. Anyways, 100 years alive, 70 years of service. That is the story of the out parliamentary pension scheme as well. And finally, in the Daily Nation, the poison in our food. That's a headline there in the Daily Nation. And with Kenya, that is some fungicides, weed killers outlawed for being carcinogenic and toxic to reproduction. Now, the European Union continues to export pesticides it has banned from use within its own borders to African nations, with Kenya being a destination for more than 400 tons of the deadly cancer-causing chemicals. A report by a Swiss-based organization reveals this hard-knocking truth. A conversation I think we should look into here on Good Morning Uganda, because Uganda too is affected by this. Now, in other news from the Daily Nation, double tragedy: man who lost home in Mukuru caught up in Makongeni evictions as residents win court reprieve. And TSC announces 9,000 vacancies to replace dead retired tutors. Also matters development, first world ambition on track, Malaysia PM. And all eyes now on IEBC as campaigns wind up. 181 candidates square off. All of that in the Daily Nation. Now that's it from the dailies. Time for us to dig into what we have for the real this morning. First and foremost, it's important that you save the number 0709602592. It's the best way and only way for you to be part of the conversation that we are about to chew on, and that is by text WhatsApp. Now, yesterday, Joan Murunji did share a highlight of some of the observations she made over the weekend of course, top class graduations that are for the season as school is closing for third term and promotions in classes are going on. Top class nursery school is one of those that are taking shape, where children from top class are graduating from nursery school to primary school. Now, the conversation on top class graduation, if you ask me, it has a lot of questions and things to talk about, but that's totally another conversation for another day. But today in particular, basing on what she observed, was the fact that it's a platform, pardon me, it's a platform that also candidates are using to throw their manifestos. They're using it as a podium to throw their manifestos, to, you know, share their manifestos to the electorate. And they're using an opportunity for children who are below 18, not yet of age, in fact, not even yet of a stage of understanding politics, to share their manifestos. Indeed, she went ahead to say that she noticed that some of the candidates would, in a way, push their agenda by having these pupils wear their t-shirts, either political party t-shirts or maybe even t-shirts that have their faces or ideas of such. Now, in the same spirit, yesterday we did host 3N Consultants, and this is a firm that has been officially outsourced by the Electoral Commission to engage Ugandans on voter education. And this is a question that I posed to them. Now, the guests I had were Miss Nakakande Halima, who is the head of legal at 3N Consultants, but also happens to have been a candidate once in the election season of 2016. And I also had Mr. Mugweri Geoffrey, who is the PRO at 3N Consultants. Now, I did pose this question to them just to pick their mind on what they thought about this. And Mr. Mugweri Geoffrey did indeed elaborate the fact that this is not stipulated anywhere in the law as wrong, but in his personal opinion, it did not make sense at all, because those who vote must be 18 years and above. So why push an agenda to children? But Ms. Nakakande, who also has been a candidate before and knows what it means to seek for votes, made mention of the fact. She shared her opinion and said that why not, if the people you're targeting are in that crowd, why not use the opportunity? And a viewer came through to 0709602592 and stated that indeed, why not? These children are already exposed to these things even outside of that particular moment. Right from home, they hear and see these things. And yet, when they see leaders campaign, it's a way of nurturing and teaching them to debate as future leaders of Uganda. So today we're delving deep into that to just hear your opinion and of course share our 2 cents as well. 0709602592. Campaigns by hook or crook is campaigning during nursery school graduations. A hook or a crook? What is your opinion? And I'll start with Joan, who definitely shared this highlight, who had insight into it to just dig deeper into her opinion. Once again, good morning, John.
Good morning, Julie.
And before you continue, let me just say once again, good morning, Robert. I'm looking forward to your opinion, but we're starting off with John.
Give you a reply, either it's a good or bad.
Okay, morning. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
I'll do that in Nigerian language, offset.
Oh, wow.
Oga.
Oh, wow.
Oga, what is not happening?
You see.
But let's focus, John. Please take us away.
Okay, I think, Julie, we need to start from getting to know about the importance of these graduations in school. Let's start off from there. Because as far as I know, graduations are there to honor the children or students' academic celebrations.
All right.
Those are some of the core goals or values of graduations. And also to acknowledge the students' hard work. So if we are going to deviate from the goals of the graduations and decide to politicize these celebrations, I think they tend to lose meaning, and also they lose focus because these children are being celebrated for their hard input towards academic excellence. And now we are here trying to assimilate them into the world of politics. One, a child of top class, OP1, cannot make informed decisions politically. So even you mentioned that there is a viewer who stressed that these kids are already exposed to politics. Yes, we cannot have control over that, and it's the undeniable truth. But if they're already exposed, let us not assert these political views to these children. Because yes, they listen to radios, they watch TV, they see placards.
But they listen to their parents'
Exactly, they watch TikTok with their parents. But let's not really emphasize this, because this time of their development in life is not really concerned with politics. So we are compromising these kids' intellectual thinking and feeding them with politics that they less need right now, because all they need to focus on is academics. And besides that, when we are looking at the cons of politicizing graduations, there is prejudices that are happening already. You find on TikTok a kid is donned in a t-shirt of a certain political color, and the words he or she is uttering, oh my God, you're like, really?
Are you that young?
Exactly. And you're like, what do these people learn these things from? And it all goes back to the parents. As we are taking part in politics, let's think about the young generation. Are they ready for what we are displaying for them? Right. Are they ready to take up decisions that we decide to hold in our homes? If we are to utter statements like, I do not like this candidate, I cannot do this. And this, for example, these are the same candidates that are going to lead these kids. What will they offer in the nearby future? That's why you find like a kid, we have juveniles for striking, because they get into doctrines that are not really substantial to them or are not really explained to them. And the other thing is, when we look at politics in graduations, let's look at the community. Right. What is going to happen if the communities do not align with political ideologies of that school? We are going to have a community that is alienated from the school because they will feel withdrawn, and they will, in case of fundraising or for support of the school, these communities will abstain. They'll be like, this school is for the head teacher, the administrators, support this political party, and I do not support that one. So why must I fundraise? Let them go and seek support from the political parties they align with. And also, the other thing that we can look at is the engagement of parents. One, graduation ceremonies, functions of celebrations. Right. And they are supposed to act as a unifying factor for these kids, for the students, for their parents, and for the administrators and teachers, non-teaching staff, and all to do with that. So if we bring politics, that of which we cannot deny that they are the opposition and then the government side, we are going to see disengagement in activities, because you hold maybe a sports gala, and some members of the PTA will not come because all they will say is that no, this is organized by this teacher and I saw he's in favor of this political party and I do not support that political party. Right. So why? So in the end result, it is the child that is going to suffer, because many children would love their parents to be around, or the community to be engaged in the sports gala. And also the other thing we can talk about is having divisions and conflicts for parents, for the students, because these children are talking about things they don't really understand. They cannot really figure out and reason intellectually. So you find someone just doesn't want another student because of certain names that are really aligning with politics. So we are going to see a rising of jealousness, hatred, discrimination among kids, and already in schools there is bullying. Yeah. So imagine when it comes up to the political parties and it is associated with bullying. So a lot of negative consequences can stem from politicizing graduation ceremonies.
True, indeed. You air out views and a perspective that is really, really valid. 0709602592, it's the WhatsApp number you should engage in. I know you have a pupil who's graduating or has already graduated, and you've probably seen this, or you are in line with strategy. You think in line with strategy that for you, any platform, by aggression, you have to use the opportunity. For as long as you're not breaking the law, you use the opportunity. Do share your opinion, 0709602592. Now, I cannot wait to hear what Robert has to say on this, given his ideas when it comes to politics. Very, very, and one who has covered a lot of political stories and campaign stories at that. Definitely, Robert, do give us your perspective and your vantage as to where you stand and why.
I just pray it's not a 50-50. But I may be this time, let me give both sides of the coin.
Yes.
First, what is politics?
Okay.
Politics is the art of managing society.
Right.
In my view, the art you use to manage, of course, elected into leadership. That's why you see some, they are all MPs, some do us nothing at all, others do something. You have a parliament over 350 something, then it is very shocking. You have about 20 MPs that speak or can debate and discuss. The rest may go on radio, social media, but where issues matter, they'll never speak. On the steps of parliament, they call journalists, and you'll hear how venomous they are, yet it no longer matters there. Now, when we take, our laws are very clear. a person below the age of 18 cannot vote. But they don't refrain them, cannot vote, cannot stand for an elective position. Because we believe they're not yet mature enough to make these decisions or even manage society. However, it doesn't ban them from being in the political sphere. That's why you see today in schools, years ago, we had a time where teachers would elect leaders. The schools would sit and say, head boy, now this boy is bright, he has this, you're the head boy of this school, you're the head girl of this school. Not so, some decades back. Today, they have brought democracy to the people. That even in nursery school, if they are to have leadership, some schools that choose to, there will be campaigns.
And corrupt campaigns.
And corrupt campaigns. A child will come to you and tell you, Daddy, I need sweets.
Sweets, yes.
I need chocolate. I need you to buy me some toys. You know?
And you ask for
These
what?
are things that should stop.
You're like, why? Now, if both of you are working and for you try to be more principled, no, if you're good, my son, they should vote for you.
I know you can make it.
I know you can make it. You see, we want to build a new Uganda. Whatever
You are
you
saying
see.
this to a child in top class.
Like you want to tell this child that you want to run away from voting by bribing people. Now, for you, if you drive and go and you have a chance to check that handbag, Mommy has bought toys, has bought balloons, has bought chocolate, has bought sweets, has bought everything. Only the teacher, if you go to pick the child and they tell you, so and so has invested in these campaigns, and you're like, but I bought nothing. But someone did buy. So we've allowed, the moment we opened up politics for schools, that electoral politics, leave alone high school where people are 18 and above. But today, nursery or kindergartens, or call it lower primary or pre-primary, there is active politics within student and student. When we come to primary, there is active politics, but at student level. That I don't condemn. Why? Because it is preparing these children for what is coming. But within them, if it is restricted to their politics, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. That we've not put in parties, we've not put in big people, elders influencing or mature people because of political parties, but we've let it for kids. Like we were, I don't know, but I believe in your primary school, maybe you had those campaigns, you remember?
Yeah.
Or Julie had those campaigns. They want which political party do you, it was us, the pupils, you know? It was us, nothing attached. I would come to you, I want to be the head monitor, I'm going to do this, you have a few things there. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do
I
this.
will make sure you don't eat posho from Monday to
Now make sure, you also move with your gang or some influential people, you know, and you secure the vote. I'm very okay with that politics at school level.
Right.
Because we've gone through it, it builds leaders, it shows people...
Robert, just to interject you a bit, have you realized that even kindergarten or infant politics, elections of prefects that side, at times even they call them ministers, you find that the kids have been, they've done posters for them, including the political party.
That's what I said, that I'm okay with the tradition we had where it wasn't influenced.
Where there were no political
parties. It was school politics. I remember I stood for HP, my school, and I was blessed that we had a number of short people there, you know, and there was, and my competitor had a group where they would intimidate. So I was like, I'm coming for freedom. I called myself Mandela and all that. So it was simple school.
Freedom for short people.
Not, I said, my opponent was very tall. So, and he was a bully, kind of.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
But I had so many of height mates there. So that was a technique I was using. I was telling them, you see, you vote for him, you're in
We are
trouble.
discriminated.
You vote for me, I'm like you. I understand you better. It was basically school politics. And of course, a few sweets, you go to the canteen, then you're like, I've bought bread, I've bought nuts and all that. That was good politics.
Yeah, yeah.
It was training. It sharpened people. It was, because school is also supposed to prepare us for the reality outside. Now, this is what I'm against. The politics of mature people, let me use that, of those above 18 bringing it in school. One time, I don't want to mention the school, I saw a poster where a child of one diehard of National Platform, I want to mention the school, it's one of the good schools, by the way, now was standing, and all of the poster, there's even a picture of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Wow.
Or an umbrella. It was a poster,
Wow.
and I saw it, and I felt it's not that very good. My good friend, that one I can speak about him, Honorable Fred Mukasambide, there's a time his child was standing. But you see, he didn't politicize it. He would campaign on TikTok, go to school. You know, for him it was funny that he also wanted to show that I'm a politician, this is my child, give him support. Once in a while, he would find techniques of boosting, like a father who wants the child to take that path. Now, when we bring this dirty politics to our children, one, it's full of hypocrisy. Let me tell you, if you want an area where you're going to find hypocrisy, it is in democracy, most in African countries. What am I calling hypocrisy? You're going to have a crowd of people assuring you today, we are with you.
Yeah.
I've ever also stood for a certain position. I want to tell you, you go back and ask them, you people, what happened?
An example of Honorable was in Mitiana.
Leave alone, okay. That one Sarah is told in Mitiana. But let me go to Parliament here. Honorable Semuju Nganda, a journalist, a colleague we talk with, one time said, when they were electing the Speaker of Parliament, if people remember this, members of the opposition assured Honorable Semuju Nganda, Tulinawe, by the closure of business,
He had 8.
he wondered where these people assured him were. But every person he would meet in the opposition, a member would tell him, I gave you. So he said at the closure of the day, he had about 50 people telling him Nakuwada.
And the results
Which did not amount.
But the votes were different.
Yes.
8 or 9.
So this politics has a lot of hypocrisy. That a person will assure you, will move with you, but will not give you that vote. Now, it is very evil for us to take that level of hypocrisy to these children when they are still young and to expose them to that. 2, it has hatred. We've not matured that much. Now, when we take parties to institutions, I mean to lower levels, those above 18 in institutions, it is okay. But you're saying pre-primary, primary. Now, it is bad because you are bringing in, we've not yet matured in our country, our politics, to have that you're from another party and from another party. These are political parties. It goes far as enmity. So we don't want to bring that in school. Then finally, the question I have to you politicians, even if I go to the politicians, the teachers, whose mental capacity I'm still questioning up to now, and ability and understanding, I'm sorry to say that. I saw in a certain school, name I won't mention, they dressed a young man in attire of a certain party and dressed a pre-primary kid in an attire of the wife of a principal of that political party. They made them say things political, you know. Now, to the best of my interest, a professional teacher, these are children who are not even 7 years yet.
Right, true.
You're telling them what to speak, and you think you're entertaining parents. I saw this as foolery of the highest level. 1, how sure are you, my children, me the parent, I support that political party? 2, among your parents who are coming, your clients, you know, how sure are you that they're all supporting one political party? But to these children, what are you exposing them to? Then finally, to you politicians who come to these, you call them graduations, and then you begin talking politics. Okay, you're speaking to the mature people. But I would think if you're a guest of honor and you're invited and you're briefed very well, the message is not for the parents.
Exactly.
You should have a message that is tailor-made for these little ones. You're going in a long-term holiday. Please do not throw it around. Life is not safe for you because they still kidnap children. We still have these funny incidents. Speak to these young ones. You're going home, do something. When you're a guest of honor the people you're going to address are, that is, if you've accepted to be a guest of honor at a nursery, get a message for those infants, you know? Why is it if we invite you as guild, you're coming with message for us? Otherwise, it shows that even you, the guest of honor, you don't know the people who invited you.
Perhaps.
That is why when we invite them, they don't talk sense to the people they should talk sense, but they give us money. And I'm urging people, this is the time to get evidence properly. When these people swear in, bring that evidence in parliament. Take them on bribery.
Right.
That you are invited in this school, you gave your 200, you gave your 500. Bring evidence. Why he says,
and you know it can also lead to imprisonment with the Electoral Commission guidelines.
No, you lose your
Campaigns
seat.
during nursery school graduations, a hook or a crook? What is your opinion? Good morning, Uganda. This is Odaro Vincent from Tororo, campaigning for from nursery school graduation. It's not bad, but it should be done in an organized way. They should wait when graduation is done, when later they talk to the parents, teachers, and eligible voters, only when children are not there, to avoid polluting the minds of the kids. And good morning, Uganda. I think let's stay away, let's keep children away from politics. It's not good at all, but maybe at some level they can. But in one or the other way, a child can also be brought up according to the skills or talents he or she has. Mr. Robert, I wish you could use the same WhatsApp number in Good Morning Extra. Good Morning Uganda Extra. I am Okum Ronald from Dokolo. And good morning, family. On a smaller extent, I'm for it, because service delivery is for all regardless of age. So if juveniles are driven into politics at an early stage, it creates awareness to them and boosts their political career inside. But on a larger extent, it's bad, because we all know how dirty politics is, mainly here in Uganda, with our immature politics characterized by violence, character assassination, sectarianism, corruption, among others. So no sensible person would wish their kids to join such a mess, because it can do more harm than good. So in my opinion is before they drive children into it, let them question themselves how effective, fair, valuable, and relevant it is, and is their so-called politics. This is Cricket Derek Gagamel from Machindia Luapo. Thank you very much, Derek, for being on the show and watching alongside Ondaro Vincent and Ronald Okum from Dokolo. Thank you for sharing your opinions. And indeed, the conversation has to come to a close. But I think a few questions that one would ponder on, and we want you to ponder on. Number one, the nursery schools administration. Is it strategy at the end of the day? I mean, in monetary terms, or power by association? Do you think it's ethical to expose minors to political messaging, in your opinion? Chew on it. Does the presence of politicians shift the purpose of that graduation ceremony? Does it shift it from children to now an adult-centered, content-based event? And of
prepared
course,
guest of honors.
Do these administrators brief the guest of honors? Maybe they do not have a communication strategy.
No, you're an aspiring candidate. We tell you, little angels, we're inviting you as a guest of honor.
And you come talking about
then
amendment
you come
of
talking
bills
about
and,
politics and what?
do parents appreciate politicians attending these events, or they find it inappropriate? So to school administrations,
they have a choice.
think about it. Well, I give you my money. So at the end of the day,
the parents are sent cards, and there is already the guest of honor listed, so they can't do anything about it.
well, anyways, yeah. But at least it informs you, the parent, that perhaps you can petition to speak and have a voice against such activities. Because at the end of the day,
And
you are the
giving
ones
some money to the school. You know, when you're a guest of honor and you're a politician, after speaking and speaking, you make a humble contribution. It's called a humble contribution. Now I'm telling the electorate, they do this at church.
Yeah.
Churches are targeting them this time. At burials, they give some, after he says,
Right.
Julie, what happens when the owner of the school is also a politician?
well, a rock and a hard place, but at the end of the day, I think there's business to this matter. And at the end of the day, there's also service to the matter. Which side do you fall on and how do you balance the scale? Good morning, Uganda. Tourism Express is up next.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hey, what's up, Uganda? What's up, Kampala? What's up, East Africa? What's up, Africa? This is your boy Patrick Salvador, the man from Mbokolo, and right now I am at the Wild Waters right here in the beautiful district of Jinja. We are enjoying the 10th anniversary of Nyege Nyege Festival. Listen, this new venue, this new location is top-notch. This is what I call an experience. I have walked, I have seen different sites, different locations, different avenues where we can go and have fun. This is what I call a festival. Beautiful, different cultures. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I am so excited. Special thanks to Talent Africa and of course the Nyege Nyege organizers, and of course Explore Uganda, the Ministry of Tourism, Uganda Tourism Board. This is different. I was on my way here. I managed to interact with a couple of locals. There's a guy who had an open piece of land. He was doing nothing basically, and he turned it into a parking yard. And this guy is earning about 300,000 shillings every day. So for the 4 days, he's going to earn 1.2 million Ugandan shillings. And now this is the impact of having such a festival in such an area, because not only do we get to enjoy, but the locals get to benefit as well. So I must say, whoever thought about this location, whoever found this location, definitely Uganda has so many locations. Uganda is beautiful. We are gifted by nature. But this one, I must say, I'm so happy. I have walked like 5 kilometers. I've lost 2 kilograms in 1 day. We should have Nyege Nyege every year, every month, every week. Then I will lose weight properly. But I'm super, super excited, and I wish everybody at the festival the best. Enjoy your stay right here in the beautiful country of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Hello, how are you? I'm presenting Tofa Bar and Restaurant in Bukoto in Nyege Nyege music program. This program I'm attending last 5 years with the Asian food, different food like tandoori chicken, chicken lollipop, jeera rice, butter chicken, mutton rogan josh, butter naan, masala chips, vegetable fried noodles, all those things. And I have a very good experience for the last 5 years about the Ugandans, locals. Local people really love our Asian food. That's why Nyege Nyege team last 5 years calling me, please you can come and presenting Asian food, because all our people are waiting for your food. And thank you so much. African people loving our food, and too much love you given me to my company. Thank you so much. It's a 90% African. Huh? 90% African. 90% African people, and balance come some whites, some brown Indians, some Chinese, some Filipino. It's come like that. But 80% is Ugandans. If you check around 7:30 to 8, it will be a line for the African people, only Asian foods. Yeah. African food has not too much varieties. Yeah, very limited varieties. And Asian food, like one chicken, I can prepare more than 60-70 items. But the African food, what I know, maybe stew, barbecue, how do another one called, make with the banana leaves, lumumbo, around some few items. But Asian food, like a goat meat, you can make very varieties of the goat meat. Chicken, very many. Fish, very many.
We are at Drift. My name is Catherine. I'm Mbabazi, the sales representative at Drift, Uganda. And we are the hosts of this year's 10th anniversary of Nyege Nyege. And as the host, I would say it has been quite an incredible experience. We have received so many great reviews from the revealers that came for Nyege Nyege. It has been quite a good experience from the different pointers. The security has been top-notch. Everything has been great. And speaking from day 3 and the final day, I can definitely say that it has been a very unique, different experience. Why I say that, I would say that Adrift is the home of adventure. So we have bungee jumping on site, we have whitewater rafting, we have adrenaline-filled activities for you to partake in, and we are equally as well sustainable. We are a zero plastic policy. We have a zero plastic policy in all our properties, so we had to emphasize this to the Nyege Nyege organizers. And for the first time in Nyege Nyege, you have received a plastic cup with your drinks, and that is in a way to celebrate sustainability, to make sure that we are eco-friendly, leaving the environment better than we found it. And on behalf of the community of Kalagala Kasambia, Kangulu Maritime Council. It has been a great eye-opener for the people here. It has created jobs, it has created hype, it has created opportunities for the communities to make some money in terms of selling money, in terms of selling food, their produce, offering their houses up for rent, in terms of accommodation. So I can definitely say from us to you, it has been such a credible experience. We look forward to hosting you, hopefully for the next couple of years. And yeah, it has been quite...
I'm Superintendent of Police, Helen Mutoto, the Sezibwa Regional Police spokesperson. Right now, at the moment, we, as the police, plus other security agencies, like the army, we are providing security to the Nyege Nyege festival that is underway right now. Security has been beefed up. There are different departments in the police, the city, fire, FFU, even the medics, plus the canine, to mention but a few, inclusive of the marine. However, the event is going on very smoothly. The tourists are enjoying Uganda and also the Nyege Nyege event. We have not registered any serious incidents apart from the drowning that we had yesterday of our own city personnel who drowned here in Kalagala Falls. However, his body has been recovered and it has been taken to city mortuary for post-mortem. So we want to assure all the tourists who are coming, who are still coming in, and those who are already here at the venue with us, that the security is tight. They shouldn't worry of any threat. As the police and other security agencies, we are around to make sure that the Ugandans and all the tourists who are still coming in and those who are around, that security is really tight.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning once again. This is Good Morning Uganda, the business segment. But first, welcome back from Tourism Express, the highlights of the Nyege Nyege Festival. To remind you a bit, Tourism Express is proudly brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board. Let's start off with our economic press. And in our tax news, Korean investors who have operated in Uganda for the last 15 years have appealed to government on tax holidays and exemptions to support the smooth running of their community-based projects. They say they have contributed to the social and economic uplift of residents in Nakasongola and other districts. This was during an engagement with stakeholders at the State House Investors Protection Unit in Kampala. Let's have a look.
Sehun Foundation Uganda and Novera Investments Uganda, both Korean-owned companies, have been conducting agribusiness, agricultural development and educational services in Nakasongola, Gulu, Luwero and other districts
is started in Uganda to export coffee and futuristically cacao and cocoa here and vanilla, so that we can bring more funds and fortunes from the exportation of coffees over here. Are actually in the process of persuading a lot of Korean businessmen to bring their company to the Uganda so that they can export to the African community or Europe or even Asia.
The investors claim about facing delays in acquiring licenses and high tax burdens that hinder their effective operation.
Came to the SIPU in order to seek the assistance because we had a little hindrance and dispute with the MAIF. Is there any way we can ask tax exemption for donated item so that we can use, for instance, there was computer was the main issue, so which we are planning to use for the computer education in Uganda.
Tax exemption ensures that donor support is maximized for community impact rather than administrative costs.
These concerns were raised during an engagement at the State House Investors Protection Unit, where the head of the unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, urged the relevant MDAs to address these issues promptly.
We are not doing what we're supposed to do. We invited you here to give solutions and run forward. Not to tell us that now come and meet us again in our offices. That's what we're trying to avoid.
Officials from the Uganda Revenue Authority, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, and other stakeholders in investor protection also shared their views about the concerns raised by the investors.
Explaining to the commissioners or addressing their issue, all the details are covered. Not, this one then I called. What was this one about? No. So when I have all the detail, it is easier for me to handle at once.
No, even if it is not free zone, even if it is anywhere, even not in an industrial park, don't charge tax on plant and machinery. Any technology, call it technology. And then I also heard about company registration. That one you can even start from here. It is done online.
This is the measure of 500 acres. Whatever I'm building upwards and I'm building downwards, and here I'm at 200. But I can occupy space and I can also expire underground. Yes. What is the measure of 500? I think that condition kind of is disadvantageous to investors because an investor could go down into the earth, an investor could go up into the...
Rebecca Natongo, Kenneth Tanaba for UBC News.
And from our tourism promotion launch updates, the Special Presidential Assistant on Tourism, Priscilla Trish Botagira, has called upon Uganda's women business leaders to champion conservation efforts, urging them to carry forward Jane Goodall's Green Legacy baton. He was speaking at the launch of the Uganda Tourism Board Women CEO Trick in Kampala. Here is the report.
An extraordinary coalition of conservation champions, led by the Jane Goodall Institute, convened to honor the legacy of Dr. Jane Goodall. The launch of the Ugandan Tourism Board Women CEO Trek was held alongside a public dialogue on the theme carrying forward Jane's Green Hope Legacy, restoring ecosystems for people, planet and prosperity.
In the next few months, we'll be putting across over 30 boreholes in the areas of Chikube and Kagadi, creating hope of the people who have lost hope when their streams started drying and water was unavailable, possibly as a result of our own actions, but also compounded with climate change.
The Special Presidential Assistant on Tourism, Priscilla Trish Botagira, made a rallying call for Ugandanese women business leaders to champion environmental stewardship and the private sector to safeguard ecosystems.
Her message of conservation is even more relevant today in the face of serious challenges such as habitat loss arising from population increase that has led to encroachment of natural habitats, human-wildlife conflict that has led to the threat of survival of wildlife species, for example, the chimpanzees.
The Trek and Dialogue and the national appeal to strengthen protected areas, expand community conservation and accelerate ecosystem restoration.
If we can protect their habitats and grow their populations and habituate more gorillas,
This will mean that we convert chimpanzees into green gold, and this will be able to bring in tourists and Uganda revenues, which revenues will go into development of this country, including the development of the communities.
The British High Commissioner Lisa Chinzi, the keynote address, reaffirmed her commitment to conservation efforts that balance community needs, wildlife protection and resilient ecosystems. Susan Nabugude, Robert Whiter for UBC News.
And issues concerning wealth in our content coverage of the achievements of the NRM government in Akaseke district. We bring you the inspiring experiences of farmers whose lives have been transformed through Operation Wealth Creation. From improved production to modern livestock farming, these beneficiaries say the program has helped them fight poverty, boost their household incomes, and build a more secure future for their families. Let's have a look at this brilliant report.
In 2013, government launched the Operation Wealth Creation Initiative to boost household incomes and transform subsistence farmers into commercial producers. The program is intended to increase household income through commercial agriculture and support farmers with quality seeds, planting materials and livestock, as well as promote value addition and link farmers to markets. Aman in Subuga, the area local council one chairman for Kapeka Central Village situated in Nakaseke district, is one of the program's beneficiaries.
Era wenjogere emmwanyi zino zinkoledde omulimu munene nnyo okusinziira kubanga bw'otunulatunula awaka enkulaakulana weeri naye nga enkulaakulana eyo njijja mu mmwanyi muno n'obudde buno bansanze mu nnimiro nga ngenda kusimba mmwanyi.
Subuga says Operation Wealth Creation, under the supervision of retired General Salim Saleh, has played a key role in offering opportunities to farmers to develop themselves and improve their livelihoods.
Emmwanyi zino ze mulaba zampeebwa Wealth Creation nebaza His Excellency the President of Uganda wamu ng'akolagana ne General Salim Saleh olw'enkulaakulana naffe gye yatuleetera ekapeeka wano. General Salim Saleh okuba nti yatuleetera enkulaakulana ate esinze okutuyimpa walinga kati nti yatuleetera amakolero. Pulezidenti mabega yayogeranga Nakaseke agenda kubeera Mekka, Luweera agenda kubeera Mekka, ekyamazima yatuukirira.
Jenny Nancha, a resident of Chitoto village in Semto Chikandwa sub-county, says she received coffee seedlings under Operation Wealth Creation and has since cultivated 3 acres. A support she says has greatly improved her livelihood.
Nafuna emmwanyi okuva mu gavumenti ngaba Operation Wealth Creation geno be yatusindikira muno be batukolamu omulimu ne batusomesa, basooka tusomesa era twafuna omusomo gwa nnaku 3 era ne batuwa ne certificate nga gwa kulabirira mmwanyi okuva lwe bakuwa endokwa okutuuka kukugitunda.
According to Nanchia, when the government introduced irrigation schemes in their area, the initiative has helped farmers overcome the effects of drought and maintain steady production.
Amazzi amakungula tegaali malungi nnyo nga emmwanyi zaalinga ntono okusinziira ku yiika zennina, ate n'obulungi bw'emmwanyi tebwali buki bulungi naye 223 ne kati 225 amakungula maki malungi. Okiwulira, nsobola muyiika luli nafunangamu millions 9 nga sinabafuna mazzi, naye kati muyiika emu omwaka omulamba nfunamu millions 22.
In the same village of Chitoto, we also met Francis Serwazi, who said that after the president granted them land titles, he was able to start his own income-generating project, beginning with piggery.
Twafuna ebyapa wano, President Museveni yatuwa ebyapa, netufuna obwannannyini. Kati nensalawo myaka gino mwendi konzi kansala okwekozesa, nentandika project eno y'embizi. Twatandika n'embizi nga 3, ennume emu, enkazi 2, kati ndi mu mbizzi eziwera ddala nga 13-14 zaali ziwera ddala na 50 naye natandika kukuzimba.
Serwazi advised the youth and beneficiaries of the government-led development and poverty alleviation programs to embrace the programs and tap into opportunities available to them.
Tandika okuva mu byobufuzi bakole kubanga bino temuli byabufuzi. Omuntu baba akuwadde ekyokukola alina ogamba byabufuzi oba tolina kyotegeera bulungi gwe kola.
The story of success can't be told to its logical conclusion without speaking about security and stability, which is the engine of economic growth and transformation of society here.
Wadde dembe democracy yo agituwadde kubanza ekinneewunyisa omuntu atali okumulembe gw'obote kuba ebyo n'emirembe najja.
We will continue to bring you more stories highlighting the achievements of the NRM government in Nakaseke district since 1986.
Now let's dive into the specific rates of Forex as of 24th November 2025. Sorry about that. Yes, as they are stipulated from Bank of Uganda. Now the US dollar opened and was buying at 3,629.77 and sold at 3,609.77. And by midday, the dollar bought at 3,627.86 and sold at 3,637.86. It closed in off at the buying rate of 3,623.41 and sold at 3,633.41, while the Great British Pound bought at 4,748.47 and sold at 4,761.58. The Euro bought at 4,175.98. It sold at 4,187.50. From the neighbors, the Kenyan shilling bought at 27.98 and sold at 28.05, while the Tanzanian shilling bought at 1.47 and sold still at 1.47. And the South African rand was buying at 208.78 and sold at 209.36. Now, for our business owners, you need to know that people do not buy goods and services, but they do buy relations, stories, and magic. Now, this was said by Seth Gordons, and that was it from our economic reporting here on Good Morning Uganda. Coming up is the agenda with Jole. My name is Joan N. Murunji. Thank you for watching. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, you can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the MyMTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food.